Okay, we're back. We've got this. Remember where I showed you it was loose here? This is all snugged up, cleaned up. Put some blue glue on the screw. So that's all back together. And this is measured out to 3/4 of an inch between the face of this and the inside face of this adjuster. And it's the same on the other side, 3/4 of an inch. That's only about 3 threads into here. I don't know how, that's why I'm saying I think it needs a lock nut on it. Anyway, we're going to try it and see what it does. I got blue glue on it. So hopefully it'll stay and it'll stay tight. And then of course the spring goes back over the end. But first we're going to put the front idler back on here and get that situated. First I probably should put it the right way, like so. That thing about lined up. Make sure the hole, the little divot in there, is facing outward. Wiggle it, something, get it in there. There it goes. Push it in there. Swing your restraining cap back over across the top. Put that little nut in there. Find my wrench. There it is. Oh, I think we should put some blue glue in there. Little dab will do you. There. Let's try to, it's hard to video this and work on this thing at the same time. When you're alone, that's what you got to do if you want to make a video. And that's all I got to say about that. You can see I'm having a hell of a good time here. Oh, fuck. I'm going to pause. Be back. Okay. Got those little screws in there. Also pulled out the other one and put some blue glue on it so that I don't want those backing out and falling off into the dirt somewhere, because they are very small. This will focus in on that. Doesn't look like it, but you can see they're pretty small. So we put the spring back on here, and then this thing's ready to slide back in. See if I can do it one-handed. It goes in there like so. Kind of line it up square. Get the screw seated back in there with a 2mm wrench. Come on, Daryl, hit the hole. Here we go. I just saw it move, so I'm close. Yeah, it's stuck. It's in there. Will it collapse? There it goes. Okay. Now we'll finish tightening this up. Like so. There we go. Now, hopefully we got some, yeah, we got spring. Okay. So now we just got to run the tracks back around it, and they should be considerably tighter. And if they're not going to be tight enough, I think I'm going to get a plug to put in behind that spring up in here, which will push this out further, and then I can run that adjusting screw back in a little bit. Let's say I put a 1/4 inch in there, and if I put a 1/4 inch in there and it ended up being too tight, then I could run the adjuster screw in and make this shorter, and I'll have a lot more adjustment that way, I think. And also I think I'm going to find a jam nut to put on that adjusting screw so that it doesn't move over time. So now we just got to get these damn tracks back on here. And when I get it back on there, speaking of tracks, this little tool right here, a lot of you probably know what this is, but this is a tool that you use to, if you're going to drill a hole in metal. Let's see. If you're going to drill some holes in the metal, this will give you a divot. There's an official name for this tool, but push on it and it makes a little divot. But this thing works really, really well for putting the pins, taking the pins in and out of these tracks. Works really well if you have a dozer and you've got tracks with pins that look, uh-oh, I dropped it. Pins that look like this. They're knurled on this end and smooth on this end. So that tool will knock this thing out in like 1, maybe 2 punches, and it's not a problem. Good tool. Instead of using a punch and a hammer, I used a punch and a hammer before I got this, and I ended up breaking one of the ears off of the tracks. Right here, I broke one of these ears off right here, and it wasn't good. That was because trying to get parts for this thing is weeks and weeks and weeks of waiting. I'm still waiting on the planetary gears for the other side because of that coronavirus thing going on over there, overseas over there. Anyway, but get you one of these if you've got a dozer, an Rc4 drive dozer, such as this one. And it's really great to work on tracks. It'll save you a lot of time and a lot of headache. Anyway, I'm going to put this track back on and I'll get back to you. Okay, got the track back on. Another great tool for this dozer when you're messing with your tracks, if you got a lot of track issues or something, get you one of these clamps. You can get this down there at Harbor Freight for, I don't know, about $8. But let me tell you what, when you're by yourself and you're trying to compress this spring and try to get a little tiny pin into a track, another thing is I always put the pin joining on something hard so that it's not flimsing around when I use this to punch the pin back in. This, by the way, this pin went back in 2 punches. Just pushed it back in there just perfect. So, but this is another great tool because you can put, which way did I go? I put this up here on the nose of the idler and the tracks, and this end right here against the dozer arm, and then tightened it, which compresses this spring. It's in here so that you got enough play to get that pin back in. Anyhow, so now I've got a lot better. You can see the spring working there now. It never even worked before. It was so loose. What a difference. The track shouldn't jump off near what it was. Yeah, there's not near the play in it that was. I honestly think it could go maybe just a little tighter. But we're going to see how this plays out. And then, but man, what a difference. Because this thing was actually so loose that it was laying right here. The inside of this track was laying right here. It was so loose. It was so sagging. It was down like that, running that way. So what that means is that track's going to jump off every time you get a little rock, or you're backing up, spinning, or something. It'll kick this thing off an idler, and off comes the track. So anyway, hope this helps you all out. For those that you have got one of these dozers, or wanting one, at least now you got a little information on it. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.